Welcome to Metal Gear Explained. Today you get your first look of the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta remake. It's a lot of words, but man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited about this. Are you kidding me? Just take a look, and we're gonna break this down in very much detail. There wasn't really any type of audio other than some music and some background noise that you needed to know from the actual trailer, but they did give us an in-depth look on multiple areas in the beginning of the game and a couple of areas throughout. Some really special stuff. As you can see there, the boss fight with the pain, you have tons and tons of stuff, and I'm going to break all this down right now in this video. I'm going to showcase a couple of things, but then we'll do a deeper analysis as we go forward. So pay attention to the channel for all of that. Yes, it looks extremely good. All of the different areas, super upgraded. It put a smile on my face and it made my day. It's looking sharp, and there's much to talk about when it comes to what we just saw. And we're going to replay it, and we're going to slow it down for you guys and do some breakdowns. First of all, of course, as you know, the book bag, the start of the game, this is literally the first minutes of the game. You parachute down. It's no spoilers, of course, but parachute down, you lose your book bag, you pick it back up, and you're good to go. And that's the beginning of the game, and that right there, just graphically alone compared to the previous game, is huge. We might do a comparison video, we'll see, but I just wanted to break some things down. Now, take a look. You're looking at Snake as he's crouching here, and you see the alligator in front of him. We know this area. This is one of the beginning areas before you get Sokolov. And in this situation, you're just trying to pass these alligators. The question I've had and the thoughts that I put out to Konami and on this channel is that I would want the animals to be more aggressive. I understand this is an older game and they probably couldn't make that happen, but I do believe creating a more aggressive animal. Alligators are pretty still, they still stay still pretty much, but in this game, the original, they weren't as aggressive as I felt they should. You can easily just roll past them and not have any trouble at all. And I would prefer them and all the rest of the animals. And I was hoping that they would add in more animals to make it more of a wildlife experience, in my opinion. So just wanted to point that out. But if you want to talk about graphics, like look at the details for just in general, whether it's the alligator, Snake himself, the water, the particles, all of the different elements in here are looking top tier. Of course, this isn't a finished product. It says pre-alpha footage. They're still working on the game. They're confident in the game enough to be able to display this. And this is one part that I want to talk about. I'm going to rewind a couple times here. But you can see the mud dripping from Snake as he comes out of the water. I'm assuming he just got out of that water area that he was just in. And then they wanted to showcase the mud, which you got to pay close attention to. That is critical. And we're going to replay it a few times so you can see it in detail as it happens and understand that is special, because that means that they're going to have a lot of things in that way. Now let's take a look at him extra muddy from coming out of there. The mud is drying up on his face a bit. He's still, dealing with that, but that is very awesome stuff. We see the Phantom Pain have this type of mechanic, but I do believe this is even more enhanced than the Phantom Pain. The Phantom Pain was a long time ago. It's almost 10 years ago. So pretty interesting. Now, this part is the first engagement with actual players that we see in the game. And it looks like an exact replica of the original. Okay, I played a Metal Gear Solid 3 probably 15-20 times or maybe more, but this part right here is the first engagement. You have the log on the left. You can go inside and grab an item. You have those two in front of you, and then you have the tree up front where the enemy's headed. And this is pretty much a replica. What I want you to pay attention to is the mechanics from Snake and his movement. As you can see, the smooth crouching straight into the aiming, all of that right there is what we want to pay attention to when it comes to his movement. Let's just look as he looks behind cover. You're getting these mechanics that we know and love from the game, so they're not crippling us and taking away mechanics. I feel like it's important for them to implement most of the stuff. Some of the stuff is outdated, of course, upgrade it and make it better, but that mechanic is always a must in my opinion. And right now, what we're seeing, and just to kind of point it out and stress this part out, is we don't have the overhead view at the moment. From what I'm seeing, this is going to be the third person free roam camera setup, and I am not mad at that. Every game pretty much does that, but the traditional Metal Gear players like myself who wouldn't mind having the over the top of traditional Metal Gear camera as well, just to have it as an option. That's the question. We don't know. We got to ask Konami when we do get a chance. And this breakdown is going to be a little longer than normal. I wanted to purposely take my time here. And this, of course, the legendary bridge. Amazing stuff, first and foremost. Just visually, I just played this yesterday because the Master Collection released. And today they dropped this to hype us up more about Metal Gear. Just look at the bridge. I did all this section. I did everything in this area. And it's just looking top tier. As you can see, Snake's still climbing as usual. He's still able to grab somebody. And this is critical. And we want to kind of highlight this as best as possible for you guys. Like that right there is his traditional kick to the leg and then just grab somebody. I think that is going to be special if it stays true to that experience. Okay, we're looking at what is possibly the most beautiful Metal Gear Sun that we've seen in video games. I mean, Phantom Pain has some nice visuals, but check this out. Look at the water and the reflection of the sun hitting it. And then you got your shadow, ray tracing style. And man, oh man, this is probably where I got hyped because I'm like, man, are you kidding me? This graphic is not cartoony. It is very realistic. It is very authentic, right? Especially with Metal Gear being such an authentic game. I do believe this is going to be spectacular experience as far as visuals go. Mechanically, the questions are, what type of mechanics do we have, right? And we're going to take a look as we pay attention. You're crouching and walking. And guess what? That wasn't a feature. That was not a feature in the original Snake Eater game. And not to say that the game was bad, but later future games all allowed you to crouch walk, which is an easier way to stealth. Let's just be honest. And so for me, personally, as somebody who plays this game a lot, that is going to be nice. And I wanted to take some time to look at this area carefully and to give this a deep look. As you can see right here, this is later in the game. You're going to be going through the desert. You got the jungle. You have the mountaintops. You have a lot of different terrains somewhat in this game. And this one right here was very, very special. The flamethrowers are here. There's a lot of little secret items in the area. And the plot just thickens during this time. So it is extremely special to see this section. And of course, we saw this earlier. They're just kind of replaying, putting this back. Snake was crossing this path earlier. He passed by the alligators. Again, my question is simple. Do you guys agree? Are we going to get more aggressive animals? It's not just about the alligators, whatever animal. The only animal that was somewhat aggressive was the goats. So hopefully we'll change. And we know that in the Phantom Pain, they definitely made it more aggressive. So super exciting stuff. We'll see as we go forward. I want to kind of replay this one more time and give you guys just another look while I discuss a couple things. First and foremost, guys, you have to be excited. All right, if you're a fan and you played the original games, you should be excited. And the reason for this is because this is a new experience, okay? It might not be the traditional experience like some people might want, but a remake, reimagining it with new elements and new mechanics or new visuals just adds a little spice to your experience if you're one of those guys who are a Metal Gear fan. And for new players, if you're watching this, I mean, you're going into this with probably one of the greatest stories in the history of video games. And to me, it is. But this will touch your heart and soul and really, be your powerful story, to say the least. And then adding to that, having beautiful visuals, having newer mechanics where it doesn't feel outdated, I think can be special. So I'm super excited to see how far this will go as we go forward. And please leave your comments and thoughts of what your expectations, your feelings about what you just saw, everything down below here on Metal Gear Explained.